What the hell we gonna do now?
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Estefania and I share videos a lot about college, in and out, my work experience, college experience, anything to pretty much help people who are also struggling in the same areas like me. Without further ado, let's get into the video. The first thing that college failed to teach us, and it's a lot of us, is how to manage our money. This is such a big thing because think about it. College, they make you take GED courses that literally have nothing to do with your major and that really just waste your time. I remember in college, I took all these classes and then I was like, man, like I wish I could have learned more about how to start budgeting my money better, how to start investing, how to start your own business. These things that are like really important because what happens to when you want to save your money? I've heard a lot of things about like it's not good to put your money just in a savings account, which is why I open an index fund. If you guys want more videos about that, let me know what I've learned from that. I try to put 10% of my income into that index fund, and it's really important because in that way your money's growing for you. But I really just want to point out what college didn't teach us is just overall how to manage our money in a very smart way. For instance, like college already, you take out so many loans, for instance. So they don't teach you how to start your own credit card, your credit score. This is something that's really important that we need to talk about because without your credit score, you can't buy a house. You can't buy a car. College doesn't teach you the importance of buying a house. What is a mortgage? What is the importance of basically growing your wealth? Because when I heard about investing, I was like, what? Like money can work for yourself? So if you are right now not investing, if you guys are not looking into how making your money grow for you, also putting your money aside to when you retire, I'd be happy to share what I did my research and what I found. But there's a lot of videos on YouTube that I found very useful. Even this guy, Stephen Graham, he talks a lot about this, which I've learned myself. So when I was investing in Robinhood, Public, Wealthfront, all these different apps and websites that are very useful. The other thing that college failed to teach us is mental health. College does not care about your mental health. I know when I went to UC Davis, they have a lot of resources to really help with like your stress, if you had anxiety. A lot of the services that you would really need, like therapy, isn't free. And that's such a big issue because a lot of students that I've known, they pull all-nighters. They cry and have breakdowns because they failed the class.
Oh my god, even though oh my god.
They don't teach us how to handle rejection, how to handle failure. A lot of times we don't have time for breaks, time to relieve stress, time to really take time for ourselves and really like relax from such an overload of information because you eventually burn out. And I felt that a lot in college was that I had a lot of mental breakdowns. Like every time I didn't do good on the test, I was like, fuck, like, you know, I was so mad at myself. I should have been more nicer to myself. I was going through a lot, trying to like pay my bills on time, working on top of going to school, trying to exercise at the top of that, trying to eat better. I remember for me, when I got D's in my classes, failed a test, I literally just went through it all by myself because if I went to other people or when I saw other people doing classes and everything, they seemed fine. So me coming to them like, how do you do that? I just say, oh, I just pull all-nighters, I don't eat, I don't sleep, I don't go work out. Like these are such big problems that college only makes it more difficult because there's teachers that literally do not give a fuck. If you're sick, if you don't feel good, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of teachers who do care and really are considerate. But for the most part, people had COVID, people weren't feeling good. A lot of times the teachers, like I know in the science department, they're like, oh, if you missed a test, it still affects your grade. But it's just like, you're literally sick. And then these students are literally pushing themselves when they should be resting. This is like something that I wish college focuses a lot more than just basically your career path, because career path is really great and it's really important to focus on, and you know it does take a lot of time to really build. But if we can't leave college to pursue that career path because we don't have enough money, we don't have enough food, we don't have basically the mental capacity, the patience, all these things that are really important to basically sustain yourself, take care of yourself, be independent, we're not gonna get that very far. And I think that's what college overall failed for us students. It doesn't prepare us for life. Overall, your mental health is important, but also your physical health. Because in college, it failed to teach us the importance of physical health. Because of our busy schedules and a lot of not enough gaps between our schedules, and they push us to graduate, and usually a lot of like bigger colleges, they don't give us the classes that we need. So we take classes that are unnecessary for a major. I'm tying that into like my physical health is that because I was taking classes that were unnecessary, my schedule was really pretty much smushed together. Not to mention I was working a lot of hours. It was so hard to make sure that I was eating right and exercising. So college, their food, I would say in UC Davis, it was pretty good. My freshman year, I did live on campus, but it's so expensive. Like, they know college is expensive enough, and they charged us, like, I remember like a bag of grapes was like $5. And I'm like, oh my freaking gosh, like, why is it $5? Like, they're just grapes. Freshman year, like, all they gave us was like pasta, like not all of us, but like a lot of their food was just like so processed, and it was so mid as in flavor.
Is there anything today that I ate that wasn't microwaved?
Salad.
The salad. You fucking donut. Of course you don't put fucking
All of that it wasn't.
And not to mention, because you have such a busy schedule, it's hard to find time to exercise. While they may have classes that teach you all these things, how is that looking from the person who's basically providing it, the college? Because I remember when I was like, oh, I don't have summer classes, but I'm gonna be here earlier. Okay, let me go to the gym. I go to the gym and they're like, you're not allowed to come in. I'm like, why? Because you need to pay for summer classes in order to use the gym during the summer. And I'm like, dude, that's so dumb. Like, what the hell? Like, why do I have to pay an extra money? Like, don't you guys already earn enough from us? Like, that's what I'm saying. The other thing that I really truly feel that college failed to teach us is how to build a better character. I see so many people who are very angry, disrespectful, but if we're not trying to push it to other people, like, hey, you know, we should have a class that teaches you more about demeanor, learning how people's lives are different. Like, I know a lot of our classes in college talk about LGBT, their history behind it, history about, you know, Hispanic, and we learn about having to respect other people's cultures. And I think we need to talk more about overall talking and socializing with other people with different backgrounds. And a lot of people are like, okay, well, college, why do they have to teach you that? Like, boy, we learned this in kindergarten. We talked about like RESPCT. We talked about how sharing is caring. We talked about all of this. And luckily, people who are younger, they tend to be more respectful. From what I've seen, like Sacramento area, they tend to be very respectful and understanding, but you need to obviously reinforce that in hopes that their character doesn't change or mold into something different, because sometimes you're going to be put in a new environment and you're going to be molded by that environment. Because I remember I was a very annoying person before college, and it was not easy for me to change, and it was hard because I had a lot of pushback. Because does me changing mean that it's bad? Does me changing mean that I'm not good enough? Does it mean that I have to change to a whole new person because people won't accept me? You know, things like this that we need to really talk about and share. Because as we've seen, and I really want to mention this because I really want to hit this point here, is that even in high school, we've seen what's happened in the last couple of years. Young people have passed away from a young person's decision who either needed to seek help or adults ignored it. And a lot of it falls in the school district as well, because that means the students deserve better. And I think this is something I really want to point out, especially in college, because that's also a lot more students. But even before college, like, we need to really like emphasize the importance of taking care of our students. These is a generation of the future, and if we don't provide them with what they need, like how to take care of themselves financially, how to take care of their mental health, how to take care of their physical health, and also their character, we're gonna lose a lot of people who have such a good heart, and they're gonna be molded by their environment. It's usually people who never got called out on stuff they did wrong, and they end up teaching that to them. I literally make a whole podcast of just my overall college experience, good and bad. It's because it taught me a lot in terms of the bad, which is therefore good. But it's also scary to think that I sometimes won't want my kid to go to college. If anything, I for sure would want to be that parent that, you know, gets a phone call from her every day, like, hey, how was school? It's okay if you failed the class. Like, are you okay? How are you feeling? Did you eat? Make sure that you eat, because if you don't eat, then you get headaches. And if you get a headache, then you go to class, you can't think, you can't focus, you can't retain the information. It's like, it's a whole thing that I wish also parents know about before sending their kid to college. And if you know your kid, and parents say they know their kid well, really talk to them and understand with them that if this is really the right decision for them. That's all I have for you guys. If it is helpful, give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Do it for the YouTube algorithm so that somebody else might also find this video. And if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram. I'm really active on there, sharing my journey every single day, if not every other day, what I'm doing and what I'm basically learning. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!